You listen to the I Am Real Estate Show with the three of us, and we have John Spurr, the CEO of Inspired Life. I'm trying to recap on some of the things we talked about today. We talked about renter price increasing, and that the fact that it's increasing means that sometimes you as a client need to think about investing in yourself instead of giving the money to the renters. Also, the fact is that when you're getting renter requirements, the things about, you're 1 month and 2 months rent you need insurance and all that stuff. The same thing amount of money you need for that, you can also use that same money for a down payment on the home. So think about that. And DPA options, and also DPA options and grant options. So there's different ways you can go through and try to get a mortgage or lending capability. But if you do so, make sure you go through John Spurr, who's happened to be here with us. He's John Spurr from Inspired Life Mortgage. He's one of the best lenders in the city of Tucson. And with that being said, Sandra want to start talking about
an article I read just a couple days ago. There's an article that Fox 10 out of Phoenix had, and it was about carfree community, and that's not carefree Tucson, but carfree. I went to Google it, and it wants to change my search to carefree. It was called Cul-de-sac Tempe, and so they have 17 acres of property. And it's all designed to have a community where you don't need a car.
Got it.
Yeah, pretty interesting. So it's a walkable community, and they have 700 apartments, but nobody owns a car.
There's no parking, what they're trying to tell you.
Well,
so
no parking at the...
my question is, what's the employment? Is this the whole I'm working from home concept, or are there employers on this complex, or are you taking public transportation?
I think it's all of the above.
Okay.
So that the benefits that they talked about were, one, they do have discounts on rent-a-car services. You have unlimited light rail service. They have bikes available. And so there is transportation.
I don't know if you've seen the weather in Phoenix for the last 3 months, but the whole bike's available to get to work just is not entertaining for me.
That's a winter thing.
Have
I'm
you
sure
seen
they
the
aren't
temperature
doing
in
it.
Phoenix
Yes,
in the winter?
yes. Well,
But they also did say that they had office space. If just like you can sit there and get your little office space and get your little room up there and work on it. But the whole idea was that everything you need from your supermarket, from different stores, different restaurants. Of course, they're not going to have like probably a big video place or a big Costco. It's not like that. But everything you would need to sit there and live in a comfortable surrounding, with pools and parks and bike paths and running paths and things like that.
And I think it's a sense of community too.
Yeah.
People that want their neighbors to know them, and that they want to have that face-to-face contact and a shared interest in sustainability.
And it's not the first time I've heard of these type of concepts. I mean, I don't know if you're familiar with what's going on at the old Foothills Mall.
No, I am not.
Are you?
Tell us, no.
Oh my gosh, I don't remember the developer that bought it, but like 3/4 of it's leveled. They're keeping the movie theater, they're keeping some of the restaurants, but there's going to be, I don't remember, and it's over a period of time, 500 townhome condos. There's going to be office space, grocery stores, restaurants.
Yep.
Okay. So we have a development similar to that,
very similar
type of concept, but it's not a no car, because we all know in Tucson you can't, but this town's not laid out to where you could.
Okay, let's just say from one side of that property to the other side of the property. You want to be walking indoors, probably.
So, but I mean, they're pretty far along, and they've started the construction. It's a great. Now I have the article on my desktop. I'll email it to you. So, but I've heard of this I've seen something similar in Austin, in California, and a lot of these developers are taking over these empty strip malls, and we have a bunch. And I think that's something may start happening in Tucson, because there are a lot of empty strip malls.
And if you look at downtown Tucson and all of the things that have gone on downtown, you kind of have that same concept without the no car part of it. And just to be clear, the cul-de-sac Tempe does have parking at their restaurants and shops. So if you're coming from out of the area, you do have a place to park. But yeah, downtown, you would be able to get to a restaurant, a grocery store, services without owning a vehicle.
Yeah. So although the news media would like you to believe that the housing market is going to come to a screeching halt and crashing. And there may be marketplaces in the country that's happening. I think we all agree that Arizona has a true housing shortage.
We do.
We're one of the
Yeah.
fastest growing states in the country. People are just moving here in record pace. And we're going to have to come up with new, creative, unique ways to come up with housing. And there's one thing,
affordable housing.
Affordable housing. And there's one thing that I know about Tucson I love, and I've been here my entire life, is we've always kind of been on the front edge of coming up with ways of solving weird things. You know, who would have ever thought that Tucson, Arizona, little old Tucson, Arizona, is a top 5 for foodies?
Yeah.
I mean, I would have.
We've seen a way to recreate ourselves every time.
And so we come up with solutions, and I think I know of some things that the city's working on, the county's working on to make zoning easier for sustainable housing, for affordable housing, for these mini homes or small homes and whatnot. Even the houses that we've talked about, and like the project I'm working on with somebody that can't talk about, but just this.
You're not the first one to sit in that chair and go, I'm working on a project I can't talk about. You're like the third or fourth one to say that.
That's not new to us. Yeah.
That's good radio for you right there. We are on the radio, but we can't talk about what's going on.
Well, the good news is it means you're in touch with everybody who's on the cutting edge of something, right?
There you go.
Or the cutting edge of nothing. Who knows? But
it's all coming soon. I think
Yes.
everyone we've talked to that has something that they can't talk about, we're talking in the next 6 to 12 months, there will be options for people that weren't there.
Yes.
Today.
What we're working on is on trucks and being delivered. It's on its way. I've already figured out the financing for it. Really, we're down to, it's an adult erector set. We need to know that we know how to put it together correctly before we go to market and tell people. And it's not that we don't want to talk about it or we shouldn't talk about it. We all believe it's one of these things where as soon as we say what it is, the stupid thing, all of our phones are going to be ringing off a hook, and we don't have
all the solutions.
We don't have anything to show anybody.
Right.
And we don't have a time frame. We don't have the timing down. We don't have exact costs. And so we'd rather just put a couple of these together, make sure they are exactly what we think they are, and then, get all our ducks in a row. But I really do believe there's a lot of solutions between us and a couple other people that are working on similar things that is going to make, I think, Tucson, again, the cutting edge on how you deal with a housing problem.
Right. And why not do it here? We have the need, the population for it. We have a city that people want to live in for our weather. And like you mentioned, the food, the culture, the art.
And we're getting
why
a lot
not Tucson?
We're getting a lot more industry down here, too.
Yep.
Before, when we first got here, we didn't have too many of these call centers, these bigger Amazon buildings. I mean, now we have probably 15, 20 of them now. When I first got here, we maybe had one.
Yeah. And look at the other unique part of Tucson is, I mean, I've been in finance and real estate and in construction my entire life here, over 30 years. And the number of self-made, local, large companies we have in this industry that we don't have those big companies in Phoenix coming down here doing road work. We don't have California companies here doing road work like they do in Phoenix. We have a community here that has the ability to do this. We have some of the, you sit here and say I'm the best lender in Tucson, which I can't say anyways, but I'm a great lender. We have a lot of great lenders. We have a lot of great loan officers. We have a lot of people that know how to do creative finance. And we have great real estate agents. We have good people that know how to do infrastructure and build and construct. We have all the elements it takes to be on the cutting edge of this, and I think we're right there and right on the edge of coming up with something that's going to be a very unique solution. I'm telling you, if I had the money, there's like 3 or 4 strip malls in town that I would buy and turn them into condos and tear up the parking lot, put a pool in the center of it, and I could tell you I'd sell them like hotcakes. I could just sell the heck out of those things, and I know people would move to them. Put a restaurant on one end, put a small bowling alley on the other end, or whatever you're going to put.
And a grocery store. When I lived in Abu Dhabi, we had a grocery store at the bottom of our buildings and high rises, and it was the coolest thing ever to just go get groceries and then go right back home.
Well, you've traveled a lot. I've traveled a lot. I don't know what it is about America when we get a refrigerator the size of your house and you buy food for a week and you feel that's not how it works in the rest of the world. People, you get done with work, you go to the store, you buy your food for that day and you cook it. You're not filling an ice box. I understand what you're saying. We spent quite a bit of time in Japan with my cousin, and or my Rachel's cousin. It was great. Everything you needed was right there. You didn't have to go far to get it.
It made you go outside. You didn't stay in home a week trying to cook all week. It made you go outside and go get something.
I don't know, you've seen houses in Japan, but they're small. So
Yeah.
You know, we do have one other thing though we need to talk about. We've got some open houses this weekend.
I love being on air on Saturday morning because it gives us the opportunity to tell you about the open houses that we have coming up. So that's a great perk for us. So
and say, come see me.
Yeah, Danielle will be there today from 12 to 3. And it's at 670 South Pantano Road, and it's Unit E. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath townhouse, 1,149 square feet, on the market, asking $245, and it is at Pantano and Broadway, just south of Broadway. So it's a great location, convenient to shopping. You have grocery stores. You've got not malls, but you have some big shopping centers, movies, everything is fairly close. And so come check that out. We'll be open on Sunday as well. Same thing, 12 to 3. So stop by and say hi. With that, we want to thank you for listening today. And we'd also like to thank all of our sponsors, Pioneer Title Agency, Indy Realty, Inspired Life Mortgage. John, it's great having you here today. Rego Pest Prevention and Power, that's POWUR, Solar, and we couldn't do what we do without their support. So if you reach out to them, please let them know that you heard about them on the I Am Real Estate Show.
If you want more information on the open house today, you can reach me at 520-373-6864.
Or Sandra at 520-850-1725.
I can't help you. I'm not going to be doing any open houses.
We'll
But
be
if you
there.
want to call me, call me at
I'll wait.
520-904-7711. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next week. Thanks, John.